Can Gunna come back from being labeled a snitch and actually have a successful rap career? Vince Staples is convinced that hip-hop has been commoditized. Is hip-hop dead? Is that actually true? Make sure you subscribe and leave a comment below saying I subscribed, and we'll try our best to reply to your comment. If you've gone to jail and you've had to actually plead guilty to a racketeering charge, and then have all of your friends, your family, call you a snitch and then try to do shows again, what a crazy place Gunna must be in right now.
Well, it seems like he was unfazed by the whole thing, right? Like, even him, you know, taking a plea or whatever, it wasn't a big deal for him, right? He did what made the most sense for him. And I think what we're seeing, because he had success with his first singles that he came out with right out of jail, I think we're getting to a place where people are they outright rejecting this whole idea of criminality having to be a part of music, right? Especially in hip hop, because it's been so prevalent for so long. I think people just getting tired of this shit. Like,
maybe that's what's going on.
Only the music matters now, right? It's not the person behind the music.
Maybe that's what's going on. He's definitely built a loyal fan base. This guy sold out the Barclays, doing a 30-track set for almost 2 hours.
Only 2 openers, and it was Flo, Millie, and DDG, who are decent sized artists, but definitely not like enough to like bring in additional crowd. Gunna was the one who people came to show up
for A Gift and a Curse album that he's trying to tour for, which is his first time performing since being in prison for the YSL charges that Young Thug is still in jail for. And he's dedicated, like Free Jeffries and his concert shows. He's doing all these things. But what's incredible to me, from just a sense of athletics, having sold out shows at popular venues before, at Emo's, Mohawk. I've been with Devin the Dude and opened for him. I've done shows that have had a lot of people there. It's fucking crazy. 30 minutes. You know how much sweat and energy it takes? You know how hot those fucking lights are in the fucking ceiling?
You know how many times you run out of breath mid-song and you like, you know, you get your throat getting dry.
No, it's like, what the fuck? Have you ever been
those crazy ass fucking stage costumes? Like, his set looked great. Like, I mean, as much as I don't like his music, I think a lot of artists can learn from what he's doing. His ticket prices as well, they're reasonable. Like, his average ticket price is about $100. We're seeing people like Lil Baby and Moneybagg Yo having to cancel shows because their average ticket price is like $250.
Yes.
Like, who? Like, come on, man. Like, I think it's getting out of hand. I think the whole snitching conversation doesn't matter anymore because civilians don't understand what snitching is.
Well,
it's like you try to convince white people that snitching is wrong, but white people like telling the police. So it's like,
I did not represent this comment, nor do I want to promote making that a reality. There are white people.
You wanted a good one, Seth.
What's interesting to me is, you know, Drake has this All the Blur tour. Gunna even outperformed Drake.
And Drake definitely is one of those artists who has a high production budget,
has a loyal following, right? Just like Gunna's got a loyal following, but even Gunna sold more tickets than Drake. This is crazy.
I mean, if you think about it, not saying that Drake isn't like, okay, we talk about relevancy, right? Where it's like Nas versus 21 Savage, who's relevant. Like, Gunna's technically in this age more relevant than Drake. And if you think about the recent music that Drake has dropped, like, everybody's not in love with it, but Gunna seems to have this infectious quality with his music first, right? And then as a person, I think people just feel bad for him, right? Like, they feel like, oh, he got a bad break. And I think his PR is amazing. You see how many, like, he's in GQ, USA Today, like he's in Forbes, like he's on all these major publications that you normally wouldn't see a rapper on. So you could tell that his strategy is not like an average rapper. And I'm just saying, y'all need to take some tips from this. Like, I think snitching might be the new come up story.
I would have to have hard pass, hard disagree. Okay, you can promote that to your friends as long as your friends ain't my friends, because I ain't telling them nothing. You know how many motherfuckers have been fucked over by pillow talk?
Yeah, I mean, But at the end of the day, I just think it doesn't matter. That conversation is dead. The whole snitching conversation after Tekashi, after Gunna, after all these other allegations against other rappers who have paperwork and they've testified, they've made statements against people. It's like I say, civilians don't understand that stuff. People who aren't into crime just look at this as a guy who makes music. They like his music, so they don't care about his lifestyle as long as he's not like doing anything crazy, like being a rapist or a murderer. They like, oh, you a good guy, right? And so I think that it's all right. You know what I'm saying?
I think it also comes down to the fact that how do you build an audience? How do you build a following? Yeah. How accessible are you to them? How engaged are you with building that audience? And how are you able to adjust what you're doing to reflect the fact that you respect developing routines, cultures, rituals specific to that artist? Just like Lady Gaga calls her fans little monsters, or Iron Maiden still doing sold out shows like 30 years past their prime.
Or like Adele just pops up with a single and it's like she hasn't dropped that many albums, but I think both her albums are diamonds. So it's like it's just
you build a fan base, they support you for life.
I think it comes just with the quality of what you're doing, right? You could tell that with his aesthetics, with everything that he's doing, he's trying to be entertaining. And I think rappers have kind of lost some of that art of being entertaining. They're not fun anymore. All people want to make is murder music. Like, let us know. Like, hit the Discord up. I don't know if y'all know, we got a Discord now. If y'all want to come talk y'all shit, come talk y'all shit,
like, man. So what do you think?
We right here. We ain't scared of y'all in the comments. You know what I'm saying?
If you find this topic interesting, let us know in the Discord if you think Gunna is a snitch. Is he a snitch or not? Let us know in the Discord what you think about his come up with these concerts at the Barclays.
Yeah. Do you care if Gunna's a snitch? I mean, yeah.
Does it affect how you enjoy his music? Fans came from all over.
Yeah.
They came from different cities. They came from the East. They came from all these different places to try to see Gunna. And a lot of different entertainers, even aside from rappers, having trouble filling shows because people don't want to travel, or they're trying to recover, or people are just fucking broke right now because the pandemic has hurt so many people in so many different fucking industries, right? But at the same time, Gunna's got fans from all over.
He does.
Can't wait to come and see him perform live. It's a telling thing because Lil Baby, he makes good music. He's young. He's trending. He probably appeals to more younger audiences than Gunna does.
Yeah.
But Gunna spent years developing and building this following. And at the same time, for this Merch Madness, we saw Lil Baby on his tour for that whole album not able to continue the tour, having to shut this down. Gunna keeps going. What does that tell you?
And Lil Baby had really popular artists. He had Killer Rai on there. He had Glorilla. He had Lil Durk. All of these big names. I think he had Meek Mill on there as well. It's like all these big names for one show, and they can't even sell out a venue. It's like, I think it's the ticket prices. I personally would not pay $250 to see a non-festival show. Like, if you're gonna spend that type of money, I better be able to go to 18 different stages, see a variety of,
or at least be VIP.
Yeah, exactly.
Have backstage passes, but $200 or $300 now just to get a floor seat.
Yeah,
what kind of
we ain't
is
doing that shit.
What do y'all think about ticket prices? Do you think they've been going up too
crazy,
much?
Right?
Do you think $300 is a reasonable price for a floor seat?
I'm not paying I'm not paying $300. I got better shit to do. I got a kid. I got a life to live. I got bills to pay. $300 that's a big ticket.
All I gotta say is I got 5 on it.
I mean, I just got a round trip plane ticket for $250. Go to the beach in South Carolina. The fuck I'm gonna pay $300 for a goddamn concert to see some
$300
some mediocre rappers who probably ain't got because Gunna, like I say, he put in a production value. He got the stage set up. He's got the different outfits he's changing through. He's putting a lot of work into his entertainment.
He's got that Travis Scott-esque, like, paper mache, huge fucking head.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. And the set design is done really nice. There is an author at Complex, and this is what he had to say about ostracization of Gunna after his Alfred plea. If you only lived on the internet, the successful year that Gunna has had would sound impossible. The rap fans who endorse street codes that they've never had to live by crucified him for taking a plea deal, and the rappers who may have made the same decision in his position opposition turned their backs on him. Even though it looked like the rap world betrayed Gunna, his talent and loyal fan base proved that hip-hop is so much bigger than the narrative on Twitter. People lie, the internet lies, but the music sure doesn't. And he debuted at 2, 3 on Billboard.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
the numbers don't lie.
They don't, and I think that I'm not going to turn into a Gunna fan all of a sudden, but I think we need to accept the shift in hip hop music and let the gangster culture go, right? Like, I mean, I know it's a part of our upbringings because we come from poverty in the hood and we see it everywhere and it's kind of ingrained in us. But a part of growing up is recognizing that that's not a positive thing for you, and it's done a lot of negative things for the community and the culture. And it's like sometimes what you had to do when you was young isn't something that you need to progress. And I mean,
sometimes motherfuckers just don't learn from the shit that fucked them up when they were a kid.
Keep making the same fucking mistakes again and
Goddamn
again.
Energizer Bunny on Groundhog's Day. This shit is crazy. All I had to do was go to jail a few times. After that, I was like,
and some of our favorite artists, like we Chef G, we review him.
Yeah,
I'm like looking for his new music. Oh, he caught a RICO case.
Right.
It's like people are getting tired of their favorite artists getting locked up. They want them to stay out of jail and they want them to make music.
Well, and that's one of the things when we think about all these different artists, when it comes to Moneybagg Yo, when it comes to Lil Durk, when it comes to like even Drake underperforming, we have to think about what type of music is being played.
Yeah.
People have audience fatigue. Rappers these days make rap songs that are all about murdering and killing. It's like they think they John Wick. They like John Wick as a rapper.
Yeah.
It's like clack, 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 clack. Wait, dialogue, one sentence, clack, clack. It's like,
or in Drake's case, we're talking low effort, right? Like people are just, they want more entertainment. That's it. It's
they want more entertainment.
And it's like, you can't fault the fans for wanting to be more entertained, right?
You know, speaking of Drake, he had that Slime You Out song with SZA, and I was like, okay, cool, new Drake, I'm ready for it. Okay, I hear some singing in the beginning. I'm okay. Here's like the pre-hook, or maybe this is the hook.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. When is it gonna drop? Okay, get ready. It's about to drop. It's about to drop. Doesn't drop. The whole thing is an R&B song. I'm like, okay, cool. You making a I want to get laid after the show kind of song with the fangirls. All right. I prefer Drake to only use his R&B voice for choruses or hooks.
Yeah.
Just when you think it's over, like 3/4 of the way through, all of a sudden Drake starts rapping. He's got some bars. He got like about 4 bars. I actually enjoying that. I'm wondering where he thinks he's headed with his career.
Well, this is an interesting approach with this whole song, right? Because it's talking about how toxic women are nowadays. Like versus him being toxic to women, he's talking about it's an interesting idea or concept that maybe we don't talk about enough. Is, are women becoming a problem for men because of this empowerment and all this stuff that's happening that we call empowerment, I guess? And it's like, is this basically women kind of turning the tables on men? And now Drake is kind of butthurt about it. I feel like he the whole song is basically him like, I shouldn't be treating you like shit because you make me feel bad and I'm in my and it's like,
yeah, that
you spend all this time disrespecting women
but you know what it is?
Oh, what is it?
It's a pickup line. it's reverse psychology saying I'm the chooser.
Yeah,
I get to choose you.
Okay.
Can you be good enough for me?
That's true. I can see it that way.
Drake is doing a standard pickup line where he's trying to say to women, "Oh wait, you have to prove yourself to me. I'm the decider."
Yeah, I should. Yeah, right. I'm the big dog
right. Instead of his normal little bitch mode, right? Bitch don't kill my vibe.
Where he's being like, you the best. He's like, he's no longer that guy. He's like, no, I gave y'all the sauce before, but now you got to pay for the sauce.
Right. Well, he's like, he's got his like soft, caring, sensitive, opposite of Chris Brown personality, you know. and because Chris Brown's
kind of rough.
Chris Brown can sing nice,
but he be fighting people though. Like I've heard many times of Chris Brown.
It's not
fighting
just,
people.
It's not just like Rihanna that he backhands. So
look, Rihanna is doing great now. She had the second kid. She a billionaire. Like, okay, she winning. You know, and ASAP winning too. Like, clap it up for ASAP. ASAP Rocky, Good job, sir. Good job, sir. You tapped a great well there. Yep. Your kid's gonna be straight, bro. I promise you that. They're gonna be straight.
And if they're not, we send them to Bible camp. No.
Ooh, man.
No. So
that's real though. Those conversion camps, that should be real.
No. Yeah. I can't say what I would do to those camps on camera because then I would be arrested. But so, you know, we're zooming out. We're looking at Gunna. We're looking at this debate about is or isn't he a snitch for his Alfred plea that he did, was just basically said that he is not a criminal and is not open to being persecuted later on.
Yeah.
Right. We look at his overall rejection and just pretty much ostracization on a large level, alienation from the hip-hop community, online and otherwise. This also relates to the coverage. He's getting coverage in these magazines that normally he wouldn't be featured in. Yeah. Because hip-hop is, in a way, rejecting him. Yeah. So when we zoom out and we look at, well, is that a symptom of the health of hip-hop as an industry? Vince Staples and Joe Budden go in on this deep on Joe Budden's podcast. Vince Staples is convinced that hip-hop is too commoditized.
Or even the whole music industry. He said music for sale isn't going to be a thing soon. Like, because of streaming, he's like, also the money people are getting off of streaming, that's going to die soon. Like that, like it'll be a point where none of it matters, right? And you know, we've talked about this before with hip-hop albums going down and success, you know, not a lot of number one albums from rap. But to say the music industry itself is dead, that's kind of weird, because then I mean, look at what Gunna's doing, right? You know, it may be the industry as we know it is dead. The ability to get on with some corny gangster raps and shine because you a thug, that might be dead.
You know, Vince Staples says, I'm never giving back to the fans. This is like Coca-Cola. It's a product, you know? Yeah. And it was crazy for him to say it that way. And his idea that hip-hop artists are actually the product and they're just a delivery vehicle for the song. Yeah.
Well, that's what he was saying. The 360 deals have changed the way things are because they look at the artist as a brand, right? They don't care if you make music or not, right? This is why they sign YouTube influencers. Bad Barbie had a music deal, and she was just some chick that got big on social media. They didn't care if she could actually rap or not. It was her influence that got her the deal. And yes, that's messing up the game for sure, because now you're getting into the space of,
well, it's hurting generational wealth. So Vince Staples, well, I may not agree with everything he said. I do agree that these 360 deals are hurting generational wealth. And it's crazy to think about that because, you know, one of the things that he was criticizing about hip-hop culture is rappers going broke trying to actually live the life of their music videos and try to take out these crazy loans for $700K, you know, for whether it's like a bigger house or a car or some other shit, and then that actually affecting their ability to live their regular lives outside of the rap stardom. And you know, I agree with that. And one of the things that we don't see a lot in communities of color is financial literacy and education, or even the desire by the systems, the schools, to even teach that. And even regardless, most people don't have financial literacy at all. And who teaches money management? It's not very emphasized. So people now become victim of predatory, you know, record label deals. They become victim of predatory house deals or predatory car deals or predatory student loans, and people get stuck in this situation, and it's really fucked up. So I agree with Vince Staples. I don't know if hip-hop as a whole has been as commoditized as he says it is. Joe Budden argued back, and he says, you're talking about transactional, I'm talking about transformational.
Yeah, and I think that he was just trying to say that what's the point of transforming something that's a broken machine? Like, he's like, why would I want to be a part of this industry knowing that it's not going to actually lead to a long-term success? He's like, that's why I want to do movies now. That's why I want to do other media pursuits, because he feels like in the long run, the music industry is not going to be a great place for people to become successful anymore. And you know, that's a tough sell for me. I think music has this way of connecting people, and I think as long as you have artists that make great music, there's a space for those people to be successful.
Even Lupe Fiasco echoes some of Vince Staples' words when he talks about in his Drill Music in Zion. He's got a line where he says, y'all don't even let us write the raps anymore, right? So then we have to think about, well, is Vince Staples right? And let us know in the comments if you think Vince Staples is right. He says that
is the music industry dead, man?
Is hip hop so commoditized? Is hip hop so commoditized that rappers, hip hop artists are only the vehicle to deliver the product, which is the hip hop song? Is that true? Let us know in the comments, because you got these songs with Drake that are AI created. Yeah. And if the product is really just a song, it's not about
AI
culture.
Is only going to get better. And
right.
It's not about the music culture. Industry is already starting to leverage it. So
right. So it's how far away are we from hip hop de-evolving from being a culture to just being a product-based music industry? Yeah. Because there's a lot of critique about these old heads just being outdated because they don't like the new shit because of the auto-tune or whatever. But now we have to really think about this stuff. Is Vince Staples correct in the sense that it has become so lucrative commercially for moneyed interests who have no regard for the struggle of people of color that was the foundation of hip hop, that they're just like, I'm going to use you as a mouthpiece for an ad on this new car?
And then can we question this whole idea of people who think they're keeping it real? Maybe they're the true sellouts, right? Because they're taking the culture and allowing it to be turned into a commodity without actually owning the rights to it, right? They don't think about the long-term impact. Like you say, that Vince Staples was mentioning, you get that 360 deal, the long-term impact of having that means that this company is going to own the rights to your image down the road. Like, is this a good decision to be making? And I've never thought those deals were good. I get why people do it because they need the money, but it's like without the right steering and the career coaching and all of that, like they know they're gonna win. They're gonna win and get theirs first, and then you're gonna probably be in debt for the rest of your life
unless you leverage what power you have from the beginning and own your fucking masters.
Yes, or that's you're an independent artist that doesn't allow yourself to be under the thumb of the industry. And when you go to the label, you go to the label with your own fan base. Right. That way you can make the deal instead of them giving you a
That's
deal.
what I'm trying to say. And so, working with Malik Yusef, Kanye West producer, one of the things that he really emphasized to me is owning your own masters. Yeah. And making sure you don't give up the right to your masters, because that gives up everything. Absolutely. And we see artists, again, like Lupe Fiasco, have battles over ownership of the masters of his music and how that can sidetrack your entire career.
I get it. I want to be wealthy as well, and if we can get our podcast to a level where we can get sponsorship and all of that, I would gladly take that. But I also don't want it to get to a point where I'm only doing things to get sponsored, which means we have to change our content. We're not talking about hip hop. Now we're reviewing Apple computers or whatever we're doing just to get seen, right? Like we're doing the trendiest thing just to get seen.
Look at research studies that support Monsanto as a healthy alternative to the normal plants.
Yes.
Right? Who is that funded by? Monsanto.
Absolutely.
You wonder who they're going to favor. Monsanto. It's the same fucking shit where it's like, follow the money. Are you really just going to be a mouthpiece for a brand to get money, or are you going to just have that as a small part of your journey? I have no problem giving a shout out to PreSonus because it's done a great job. Yeah. If they're going to pay us to do a shout out, I'm happy to do that because it aligns with our brand, our voice, and our values.
Absolutely.
But if you're just saying shit to make money alone, is it going to be a podcast then or a fucking infomercial? You decide.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments, where is the line between selling out and keeping it real? We're always going to try to do the latter here at our podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe. And tune in for another episode of From the Jump.